Stand by to launch FanStream Sports.
3, 2, 1. Let's start.
Hello, sports fans. Welcome to FanStream Sports. Nothing but pure sports. This is the JP Show.
JP, it is so good to hear you back on the air.
Stand by. Now, here's JP.
All right, welcome into a Monday edition of the JP Peterson Show. We are jacked and ready for, so much to get to today. The notes, I got a page full of notes. You can't read any of them. The great Nick Geddes is in here with me in studio this morning. The lovely JP Peterson will be making a cameo today. My daughter was in town this weekend. Those of you who have been with me for a long time know the great musical tones of my daughter, my Nashville-based daughter, who was fantastically talented, who was here over the weekend for the St. Patty's Day Parade. Thanks to the Rough Riders once again for having me. That was great. I'm going to get into that a little bit. WBC, we got USF, we got Rays, we got Bucs. Nick, where you want to go first? What are you feeling?
It's a lot you could go to.
You got your UCF Knights on. You're sporting.
I've been supporting the USF Bulls on this show, maybe a little too much for my liking. And I said, you know what? Damn it, USF's in the tournament. But you know who also was in the NCAA tournament?
Yeah,
the school that I went to as well.
Damn right.
So
yeah.
I put it on a little today. Just gonna say we're a higher seed.
Yeah,
that's what happens when you play. That's what happens when you play in a big boy conference and get 20 wins in that one.
Shots fired!
But
shots fired.
Congratulations, being the community hero. It's awesome.
That was fun.
But
yeah.
I guess we should start with the tournament and USF winning the conference championship yesterday. Because it's one thing to win the regular season championship.
Right.
It's another to win that tournament and punch your bid for the first time in 13 years, 14 years?
First time since 2012. Stan Heath's team did it as an at-large. First time since Bobby Pascal in 36 years when they won the Sun Belt Conference, oddly enough, in the same building. It's been a long time. And they've never won the regular season conference and the conference championship tournament, which these tournaments now are just, meh. But the pressure that was on them. Can you imagine working your ass off all year long? And these guys started working way back with beach workouts and just crazy stuff that Hodgson had them doing, but it toughened them up. And I've seen them play 4 times in person, watched a lot of their games on TV. And I tell you, this is one tough ass group. And they are elder statesmen. I mean, Isaiah Nelson is a grown ass man. And so is Wes Enos. He's a great grown ass man. Joseph Pinion. These are older guys that carry this team, and they are good. You do not, if you're Louisville, you want no part of USF. This is so ripe for that upset. I mean, I don't want to get way ahead of myself here, but they've got some injury issues. Louisville does, but and they're talented, but I don't think they've seen. Well, I don't know. I'm not going to say that. They've played a tough schedule, but USF's a really, really good basketball team, and I can't wait to see what they do. And he gets to go home. Talking about Hodgson. His dad has dementia and has never seen him coach. So now he gets to go home to Buffalo. And that's a really cool story.
That's a great story. And then, USF being in the tournament's a great story. And also, Kennesaw State also being in the tournament.
Yeah. Both of Amir's teams programs,
that he helped build into what they are, both making the tournament, just over a year after his passing.
That's a thing.
Yeah.
That's a thing.
Yeah,
it's a really cool karma thing. And Hodgson has been absolutely over the top every time it's the first thing out of his mouth. Anybody asks about his question, about his program, he gives all the credit to Amir, which is really incredible. But this team and what Hodgson has done and the way he coaches, man, I just love it. I've been covering college basketball for a long time, and I've seen, up close and personal. I covered the ACC. And when I was working up in North Carolina, and that was when Krzyzewski and Dean Smith and the great coaches were all through the ACC. And look, Brian Hodgson is not Dean Smith or Mike Krzyzewski. That's not what I'm saying. But he coaches with an intensity that those guys have. I mean, you can see it on the sideline, and I love that. I'm not, I like my coaches fiery. I like them into it. I don't like them sitting on the bench just taking things in. I want them up, and I want them into it. And this guy does not miss a thing. I love watching him coach. Like he's intense when he needs to be intense. He's getting the crowd up, which he shouldn't have to do at the Yuengling Center, but he does that. You'll see, he deals with guys in different ways. You'll see some guys come off and he's up in their shit, and other guys, he'll take to the end of the bench and put his arm around them and talk to them, whisper in their ear or something, which I'm sure has a couple expletives in it. So he's got a great feel for how to motivate people in different ways. And I tend to do this, especially when you're at a game, because you can't see it on television, right? You're watching how guys coach. And like Bruce Pearl is like, he's a show. Like in and of himself, he's a show just watching him on the sideline. Now, Hodgson is just as intense. He's not like Bruce Pearl was bananas, like nutso bananas.
Still is.
Still is. Yeah. But I love the ways his team plays. I love the way he coaches. And you can see why he's been successful. He, the first coach, or one, not the first, but it's a very select few that have made to the conference championship game in his first 3 years as a head coach. 2 years with Arkansas or Central Arkansas, and the others with is it Arkansas State? Arkansas State, my bad. And then here with USF, just phenomenal job. Yeah,
and it looks like, going into this, USF is, and I'm always leery about these things. They're a trendy pick. They're a trendy pick going into this game against Louisville, and obviously you'll have all week to break that down as we get closer. But I think my general feeling on that is Louisville is a bit vulnerable going into this tournament.
Feels like it.
Maybe not as all cracked up as they are, or they were made to be. And Michael Brown, their star guard, has been dealing with injuries. So, yeah, obviously you'll talk about that. But even if it doesn't work out for USF in the first round, this is still incredible. Yeah. It's still incredible. And it's the way they did it, in my opinion, is because, I was joking when I came on, UCF had to go through the Big 12, which is probably the best conference. Yeah. And the American, let's be honest, the American stinks.
It's a one bid league.
It stinks. Yeah. This is not a good conference.
This year, Memphis was down.
But
FAU
that being
was down.
said, look at the scores of the games, man. They're just properly
beating everybody by 20.
Of these teams. Like 20, even yesterday, I don't think USF, that was anywhere near their best game, and they still walked out with a 15-point victory.
Pinion is really a huge part of what they do in their 3-point. And they live by the 3-pointer or going to the basket. Like mid-range jump shots are not allowed. And they're bad analytically. They're bad. They're either going to the basket or they're taking threes. And they're fourth, top 10 in scoring, averaging 88.4 points per game. They held the Shockers yesterday to a season low 55 points, 34% from the field. They have this kind of hedge and trap thing that they do up top on pick and rolls, where Isaiah Nelson comes out and he's so big and so athletic, and Ennis, I'm not exactly sure. I heard everybody say it differently. He comes out, he's long, and it just forces teams into bad passes, and there's either a turnover at that point, or as they start to reverse the ball, they get into the passing lanes. They just play so good together defensively, and you can just tell they're just a really, really well coached team, and they play with intensity, and they're talented. So cannot wait.
If not for the football team just not being able to finish the deal last year, we could have been talking about the best stretch of USF athletics, at least in the two major sports, and I don't know, at the same time, maybe ever. I don't know, if football would have been able to finish the deal and win their conference championship.
They had a great opportunity to get to the playoff.
That was one that slipped away. I think we'll look 100%. Back on it. This year got away from USF football, but for the basketball team,
as I said during the run, and at that moment, they'll never have a better chance to get into the playoff.
It's going to be difficult.
With the schedule they had in front of them and what they had to do, they'll never.
And the talent advantage they had last year over the other teams too.
Yeah.
So, yeah, but that's football. But for basketball to then just come into the – I don't even know if anybody's even paying attention to the basketball team, to be honest, in December or anything like that. I think there was anticipation growing, building. This is a cool story. Hodgson's got this thing going in the right direction. I don't know who had them reeling off, the way they did, losing one game after January.
And it was in overtime.
And it was overtime. Yeah. It was against Temple by 1. I don't think anybody had that on their bingo card. And,
no.
And me personally, I've never seen, like I said, they haven't been to the tournament since 2012. I think I was 12 at the time. Yeah. So, I have never seen that place really jumping for USF basketball. This, for me, seeing it from the outside, this is almost like a first.
Yeah.
And it shows you what even basketball could be at this university. And Rob Higgins coming aboard, and the way he is and how transparent he is with everything on social media.
All gas, no breaks.
Right. the vibes around the athletics at this university for the first time, I think all around seem to be in place.
Well, it's the first time, to be frank, since I've been here in 30 years that they've been properly supported by the upper management.
Yes.
I mean, for years and years, athletics was, it was a nice thing to talk about and go to pep rallies.
We used to have discussions about this.
Yeah.
Look how much has changed in just 3 years.
They weren't serious about funding it. They weren't serious. When the head football coaches got to buy their own pizza after the games for the players because the administration won't do it. That's not serious.
Right.
That's not serious. And that was the football program. I mean, get out of here with that. This is ridiculous. But that is no more. That is no more. But it speaks to, it's kind of like, it's like the stadium fatigue. It's like, well, it's USF. It's just flash in the pan. They're never going to be serious. No, this is different. This is not the same old South Florida. This is not. What's happened the last 2-3 years, this is not. I think Michael Kelly got the ball rolling with Will Weatherford on the Board of Regents, got the stadium done. The stadium itself, the football stadium, the on-campus football stadium, it's a wonderful thing. It's a great tool. It's all of that. But more than anything, it was just a sign that, we're serious now. We're not dicking around anymore. We saw what happened with the UCF and your little erector set that you built there. But it made a difference. It made a difference. That's what, in not just the stadium, but just the whole idea of, we're a little bit more serious than the guys down I-4. And guess who gets into the big P4 conference before? USF was well ahead of in that race, and it.
Oh, yeah.
Absolutely. When Levitt was here, they're number 2 in the country. They were on their way. And then the administration just never supported it like it should. And UCF did. And they got the jump. And so now USF sits here in a great position. And, having great football teams and basketball teams at this time is critical.
Yeah,
and they've done it.
The athletic or the academic component,
yeah.
You don't completely throw that away because that matters in terms of, where realignment's going, where this is heading.
Yeah, the presidents like to bring that stuff up just to kind of pretend like it's still an academic endeavor to this.
Yeah, and I don't know if there's anything – I don't know where things stand on this. I assume everything's kind of just at a standstill because the entire, athletics department of the NCAA has to figure itself out right now.
Oh, they're going away.
Yeah, probably. But
they're already irrelevant.
You see all these rumors about, USF and Big Ten. I think that's been out there now for a while.
Yeah.
I don't really know what's there of it, but
I don't think anybody knows where it's going.
But that's what I'm saying. I think there's so many things to figure out. You don't even know. So the only thing you can do is just to keep winning.
And put yourself in position.
It's all about timing.
Make yourself
when you
desirable.
Talk about UCF and USF, the difference is at the time that alignment was happening and all these different changes, they were in completely different spots in terms of success on the field and the sports that mattered. Timing is about it. If USF was doing better on the field that time, USF would probably be in a better spot.
Absolutely. Yeah, 100%. But you don't get there with half-hearted support from the administration.
Yeah.
These other universities are playing for keeps. They're big boys.
Yeah.
And I've always said that from the time I came here 30 years ago. And having covered Florida State for 14 years intimately as a beat reporter, and obviously in also University of Florida, watching how these universities go about their business. And then I came to this and I'm like, wow, y'all really act small time. Everything is small time about your athletics, everything. And I was shocked, honestly, the trailers and everything. I'm like, wow, okay, good luck keeping up. But they finally got serious, and this is what you get. You get great moments like this that the community can rally around, and I'm here for it. And I don't think, and with Rob Higgins, I don't think they're backing up, at all.
No.
And he ain't going anywhere. They ain't going anywhere but up.
And who knew? And USF included in this. I mean, who knew that? Was it 2 years ago or 3 years ago in the tournament that we had the FAU Miami in the Final Four?
Yeah.
And we were spending so much time talking about, look at Florida basketball and everything.
Yeah. Florida's got a number 1 seed.
And then this year,
right here in Tampa,
Florida is number 1. They lost to Vanderbilt in the SEC tournament,
which I think is the best thing that could have happened to them.
Yeah, I agree.
Absolutely.
I agree.
Get reset, take a couple of days off. You're still a 1 seed. You're coming to Tampa. It's absolutely the best. These tournaments are bad for teams like that. Would they save themselves 2 games or 1? 2 games.
Yeah.
They say, 2 high intensity back-to-back games. You don't need it.
Yeah.
It's absolutely worthless.
But
so they're in a much better space. They're more rested. And I think there's something really, really good because they've been playing so well. They've been on such a freaking roll, and they're just it's kind of like the Lightning. But you just in basketball having one humbling moment like that gives the coach, gives Todd Golden a chance to get everybody back together and see, you know what? You took this for granted. You took this for granted. You didn't do this. You didn't do that. Now we reset and we get after it in the tournament.
Well, maybe Florida State needed to draw up a better play at the end of the game on Thursday. Or they got
a good shot.
They couldn't draw a play up. Obviously, it was 5 seconds after they blocked the Boozer shot. But if the outcome's a little different there, then that's the wake up call. That Duke might have needed because Duke has just sort of run through their entire schedule.
How about Florida State? I mean, when Luke switched up, from bombing threes every 8 seconds and went back to a more disciplined, regular approach because, he didn't know it's his first year, didn't know what he had. He wanted to implement his kind of run and gun offense. He just didn't have the players to do it. And when they scrapped it and went to a more conventional type offense and setup, they were dominant.
I mean,
they were really good down the stretch.
I was going to say, would they finish 18-15 or something like that this year?
I think they won 4 ACC road games in a row. I'm not going to spend much time talking about FSU, who refused an NIT bid, by the way.
Oh, really?
Yeah, kind of weird.
Don't like that.
Yeah. But they flipped it. I think they won maybe 7 of 10 or 9 of 12 down the stretch.
My point with that is they went 18. Yeah, they went 18-15. They finished 7th in the ACC and they lost by 1 to Duke in the conference championship. And of the major programs in the state of Florida, that was the worst showing of anybody. That's my point. It's like it's crazy. It's like we can't, outside of like Miami right now, it's like the big programs are all struggling in football. USF obviously had a great year, but a lot of the big programs in football are struggling. And then you go to basketball and it's like Florida's got the best team in the country. Miami's back in the tournament again. UCF and USF are in the tournament together, which I don't know if that's happened before.
I don't think it has.
I'm not sure. And it's like, wow, like, look, we just put 5 teams in the NCAA tournament from this state.
Yeah.
Like,
it's pretty good.
And 18-15 and 7th in the ACC is the worst showing of the program.
And it could have been better.
We've come a long way in the state when it comes to basketball.
So we're gonna be covering USF all week long. Coach Z's coming on tomorrow. Jim Lighthall will be on with us on Wednesday. We're chasing Joey Johnston, chasing Coach Hodgson, who's got a ton of media requests. But as I reminded their PR guy, I'm his favorite. So hope I'm the one he calls out at press conferences. So you better come on my show. I mean, let's go, Coach. Anyway, I just it's a great story. Absolutely love it. And there's nothing like having a team in the tournament, baby. There's nothing like having a team to root for in the tournament. It's absolutely fantastic. And Danny Boy Kane, I see you down there. And I'll flash it for a second, but we ain't talking about this week. It's not coming out of my mouth. There you go. I put it up, and there's sorry for you people on the podcast, but we're not talking about that. We're not. Don't give me that grin.
I don't want to talk about it either.
We're not talking about it. It's disrespectful.
It is disrespectful. Let's live in the moment.
We're living in the moment. And we ain't talking about anything else. I ain't going to ask him about it. All the rest of you guys can ask that question. I ain't going to ask him about it. We can do it when the season's over, but not now. We ain't talking about it. So there you go. All right. So Florida, we talked a little bit about them coming here to Tampa. They'll play 9:30. As a 1 seed. Who they got? They got the play-in, right?
Siena, I think.
Oh, it's a done? Yeah. So, I mean, whoever they're going to play in the first. Beat them by 50. God, 9:30. I know. I'm old now.
Is this at night?
Yeah. 9:30, which turns into 10:15. Like, get out of here with that. As I know the number 1 seed should play in the 7 o'clock hole, not the 9:30.
Oh, no, I got it wrong. Duke's playing Siena. Their game is still TBD.
Yeah,
9:30.
Yeah.
9:30, yeah.
Get out of here with that.
That's too late. That's way too late.
especially in
the Eastern.
Right.
Come on. That's
like,
not even the latest game. I'm looking around here. We got Houston and Idaho tips off at 10:10.
Yeah, but where is that?
It says in the South region.
It's in the Central
Central
time zone, though. Where are they playing it? Like the South region can be in Los Angeles. This stupid stuff they did years ago.
Oklahoma City. Okay.
Yeah. So, but in the Eastern time zone to be at 9:30, like
that's out of pocket.
That's good. Yeah. Somebody under 60 saying that's good.
Kansas plays California Baptist at 9:45. It's even later.
Yeah.
And that's in that bracket.
Well, in the Eastern time zone, not a big fan. But Florida's got a tremendous basketball team. I mean, hell, they went back-to-back in, 07 and 08, right?
Mm-hmm.
Billy Donovan, I covered that team, went on the road with them, and they were absolutely fantastic. This team, I wouldn't put it in that category just yet, but and everything's so different, when that was basically the same team that went back-to-back. This is not, which is even more impressive for what Todd Golden's doing there. All right, I'm going to get to some other things here real quick. WBC last night, USA and DR. Did you watch? Were you working last night, or did you get a chance to watch this?
I was watching.
Man, what a baseball game. What an atmosphere. Like, that's just, I don't know. Going back to regular Major League Baseball is going to be kind of a letdown after that. I don't know.
There are people that are literally watching spring training willingly, later. I can't do
It's
it.
for the weather and the beer. I don't know. It's like,
I can't do it.
The lack of intent. Like Junior even coming back to spring training. Like, what's that like?
I don't need to. I got to be honest. Just, Junior, just take a seat.
You're good.
You're good. You're warmed up. You're fine.
Don't pull an oblique.
You're
bro.
fine. Maybe take some hacks in the bullpen, maybe, or in the batting cages.
Yeah.
You're good.
Just relax. Take some time. But last night against Skeens, who's just blowing everybody away, like just untouchable. And then he takes a 2-strike sweeper that I swear was off the plate, off the plate away.
It was like a bad pitch by Skeens, and that's not where you typically see a sweeper, but it was good in that it didn't look like it was ever going to it wasn't it didn't hang it.
No.
Like it was just drifting so far into the other batter.
How do you hit that for a home run to left?
I have no idea, but we are dealing with an absolute unicorn.
You can't put your body, that's all hands at that point.
Yeah.
And you contact, I don't even know how you do it. You're hooking that ball off the barrel of the bat. I mean,
well, did you see the game before? Was it Friday night or Thursday night where he had a pitch that literally almost bounced?
Yeah.
It was so low.
Yeah.
And he golfed it, one hop the wall for a double. Like
he can take bad pitches. Like he's Vlad Guerrero-esque in the way that he can.
Yes.
He can put the barrel on the bat in any position wherever that ball is. And that's what makes him so incredible is that he doesn't have a cold zone. Like it doesn't matter if Skeens can throw a sweeper off the plate in the other batter's box and he can hook it to left what pitch is safe? What pitch is safe at that point? None.
That's what I'm saying. Like that pitch right there,
you can't hit that for a home run.
That's not the desired effect that Skeens wanted on that pitch, but still it shouldn't hurt you.
No.
Because still, what are you going to do with that pitch?
Okay. So if you're playing in Yankee Stadium and you can hit a pop fly to right field and put it out with that where that pitch is.
Completely hooking it the other way.
Like what? Like how do you even do that? Like you see the look, Skeens was like, what the hell just happened there?
I don't know, but when I watched it, I was filled with such pride in the fact that this guy is property of the Tampa Bay Rays and on the payroll.
For a long time.
Forever. Hopefully forever. I tweeted that last night. I was like, lifetime contract.
Everybody did.
Get it done. And I also remind myself, he is 22 years old.
Yeah.
We're not even seeing the peak anywhere close.
Ken Babby sat right in that seat a little over a week ago and said, we've had conversation, he basically defers all baseball questions to Neander. He's like, he knows he's not going anywhere.
Yeah, everybody should.
He's going to be the face
on
of the franchise.
Same wavelength with this.
He is going to be the face. I said face of the franchise. He said absolutely.
Yeah, and the Cleveland Guardians should be absolutely kicking themselves over the just seemingly throwaway trade they made.
I had the name the other day and it escapes me. They traded him for somebody you never heard of and will never hear of. Who was in Double-A as a relief pitcher.
Tobias Myers.
Who is he?
He's still in the major. He's a solid arm in the majors right now. But
he ain't Junior Caminero.
No, he's not.
I thought it was somebody else. I don't know what I was thinking, but anyway, it was a bad trade for them.
Yes,
very, very bad trade for them. But what a game last night. And if we're being honest, that is not the way you wanted to end that game. That pitch was to Perdomo, who's a ninth hitter, tying run on second. I mean, he should have been standing on first base. Mason Miller threw a ball that was 4 inches below the strike zone. And if we had ABS, as Derek Jeter said on the postgame show, we're going to have ABS challenges over the next World Baseball Classic because to have a game like that end like that sucks ass. That's terrible.
Okay.
Come on.
I hear you. I think it's become very popular, and I've been a part of it too, to dump on these umpires for the job that they're doing. And I would tell you that there were a lot of bad calls in that baseball game.
Yeah.
Okay. In fact, I've been watching a lot of the WBC, and I see a lot of bad calls, almost kind of uncharacteristically, to be honest with you, from some of these umpires. But this isn't anything different that we haven't seen in baseball for the 150 years or whatever that's played. I mean, bad calls get made all the time.
I know.
There's moments that get spoiled because of bad calls. And also, the Dominican Republic and the greatest lineup ever assembled, I was told, had 8 2/3 of an inning to do something. In fact, if you go back and look, 4th inning, they had the bases loaded. They got nothing.
Yeah.
The 5th inning, they had runners on 1st and 2nd with 1 out. They got nothing. The 7th inning, they had runners on 2nd and 3rd with 1 out. And they got nothing.
Bednar got out of it.
And then in the 9th inning, they had a runner on 2nd with 1 out.
They got nothing.
And they got nothing. And also, Geraldo Perdomo, it's 3-2. Your life is on the line. I think that pitch is close enough, man.
He's throwing 102, bro.
That pitch is close enough. You got to take the bat off your shoulder.
I'm always in favor of that.
Take the bat off your shoulder.
But also,
don't leave it up to the umpire.
I get that. But
maybe it's the USA colored glasses that I have on right now.
I get
know.
that, but he followed that ball. He tracked it perfectly. And he knew it was spinning. And if he swung at it, he was swinging over it. He was. You ain't going to touch that pitch. That slider at the bottom of the zone down there, it disappeared. There's no way he was going to touch it. I'm telling you, you can't hit that pitch. And he followed it right. Listen, I'm not here to hold the water for Dominican, but if that's an American player, we're all losing our brain. Come on, let's just be honest.
I don't like the call either, but it doesn't taint the game.
Can we get it right? And that ball was 4 inches below the zone. It wasn't like that wasn't close. That was not close.
It did not look good according to the box that they had on FS1.
Did not I was like, what just happened there? Because that was clearly that ball. I was like, oh, you walked him. God damn it! Wait, no, he's out. Like what?
It's a clear ball. I just felt like you got to protect in that moment. And anything I feel like it was close enough that he probably should have taken a whack at it, then leave it up into the hands of an umpire who's been making inconsistent calls all night.
Yeah, to be.
Am I asking too much of him to think in that moment?
No,
maybe. I don't know.
Joel Forsman said, "Doesn't taint the game, but it feels gross." That's all. When you have a great game like that, that's not the way the freaking game.
But it was an incredible game. It was a 2-1 baseball game where, if we're being honest, there wasn't a lot of action going on.
Yeah.
But you know what? Every batter that came to the plate last night, you knew was a threat at any moment to go yard, and I feel like that added to the anxiety for both sides. And the fact that it was 2-1, it was like, oh goodness, any at bat can change it right here. And it was like, is somebody going to break? And it looked like Bednar. When I saw Bednar come out, and he's kind of a very, he's like a light switch player. Some days he's had it, and he looks like the best reliever in baseball. Other days, he looks like the worst reliever in baseball. He's kind of how Bednar is. And when he started pitching, I was like, oh, we're getting bad Bednar.
He got out of 2 big jams in this WBC. Yeah. In the 7th inning, those last 2 games.
Yeah, he really made a statement in this WBC. And I think he's the Yankees closer, so keep that in mind.
That's only 2.
That was
by the way, speaking of Yankees, what a throw by Judge.
Fantastic.
To get Tatis. Holy shit. That was a freaking rope. Yes, and his elbow is just fine. I don't think there's any worries about that.
The plays all night by the U.S. defense, Judge and Wright, Bobby Witt is
the whole tournament.
Vacuum.
The whole tournament.
And Terang, let me tell you, Bryce Terang, I love these tournaments because, are you watching much Milwaukee Brewer baseball?
No, nothing.
I'm not. You're not. Bryce Terang's one of those players where, I can look at a box score and I can look at stats and go, oh, look, it's a nice player, whatever. Yeah. Watching him throughout this tournament, I appreciate now the Bryce Terang package.
PCA as well.
PCA is another one. We already knew about some of the guys who play in the AL East, and that was my other takeaway from watching last night. All the 3 home runs that were hit were Junior Caminero, Rays, Gunnar Henderson, Orioles, Roman Anthony, Red Sox. Judge is throwing out guys and right.
Yeah.
We already know the Blue Jays have their star in Vlad Guerrero, and I'm just like, man, it was like an AL East showcase.
Yeah.
Last night, and
this division's going to be brutal.
It turned the corner, and you're like, man, this division is going to be a bloodbath this year.
Yeah. It's fun to watch though, and now they get the winner of Italy, Venezuela.
I mean, come on, you have to be ready for the Italians.
Of course.
even though none of them are actually from Italy, but whatever.
But they beat the hell out of the U.S.
They did.
Who do you want to play? You would normally say, well, definitely Italy, but wait a minute.
I feel like you'll take your chances against Italy again.
Yeah.
But Italy hasn't lost, though, so they just might be a team of destiny. And they have this thing. I feel like they have this thing going on there with the Italy team because, like I said, all of them are from the USA, I believe, maybe except for like 2 players on that roster, but all the main pieces are from America. Yeah. I almost feel like they're taking it like personally, like we were the second best choice. We weren't good enough for that. Team.
Right. That's powerful.
I feel like that's been like an igniter for them.
That's a good point.
But they have the vibes, the espresso, like they're drinking espresso shots in the dugout, and Vinny Pasquantino is going through the into the locker room and being like, "Pass me the effing wine," and like the vibes for the Italian team are there. Every team has like these great vibes to it, and then the U.S. is just sort of like, we play the game the right way.
I'll just be honest with you. My emotional attachment to the hockey team
is so
compared to this baseball team. I mean, you can't manufacture emotions, right?
No.
Maybe it's because DeRosa is just such a tool. I don't know I just don't like that guy.
It's the arrogance that we have that we just sent an analyst and then we just threw Andy Pettit on there, like as a former player.
Who else wants to go?
Like coaching staff.
Who else is likable? It's
it doesn't matter. We're going to win anyway.
Who looks good on TV?
Yeah, there's like a thing about this team. Like, I don't think I'm enjoying watching them, because it's USA. So I'm always going to have that. But am I in love with this team?
That's do I have to root for Bryce Harper? Really? Like Judge, I believe it or not, like Judge is one of the more likable dudes, I think.
Judge is probably the most likable New York Yankee that has ever existed.
And Jibba Jeter.
Like I could try to hate the dude. I can't.
Yeah. No, he's just, I'm the same way. Like I just don't hate the evil empire like I used to. But he's super likable. Bobby Witt Jr. Love him.
Skeens is like very likable.
Great dude. Great. Love him and all the Air Force stuff going on there. So the majority on PCA. The majority of them we love. There's just a couple.
Like we have a very
maybe it's just DeRosa. Like if Madden were the manager, which he should be, it would be a totally different vibe.
Maybe so.
Think about it.
Maybe so.
Think about it. Like Joe Madden would be perfect. Like how do you not take Joe Madden just because DeRosa did it in 23 and lost? Like we got to bring him back. Like Joe Madden was the pick.
And can
you imagine what he would be doing with this vibe and all of this? Like the things that he would be doing with the players, and like there would be no talk about USA's just going about their business while everybody else is having fun. There would be no talk of that. None. And he certainly would have known that he had to win the game against Italy. That's for damn sure. 1,000% sure.
And you know that this is supposed to be DeRosa's like audition too for MLB jobs.
And by the way, enough of the announcers, trying to soft pedal what DeRosa did. Like, I love my man John Smoltz, but come on, what are we doing?
No. He is as over his skis as you can get.
Yeah,
with the team that he is like has right now. Like I'll give him credit. I think it was his job to assemble the team, and he reached out to all the guys and got them all committed. Like I'll give you credit for that. But in terms of your in-game management. Yeah.
So he should have been the GM.
I give him credit though yesterday because he actually made some big swings. He took Cal Raleigh. I mean, how hard does it have to be to take a 60 home run hitter out of your lineup, even though he's been struggling? He took him out of the lineup. He took Bregman out of the lineup. He throws in Roman Anthony full time. He throws in Gunner. They both hit home
Gunner
runs.
Was what 7 for 9.
7 for 9 against
off
Severino.
Nobody are we giving him credit for putting that go? Oh wow, that was a stroke of genius. Come on now.
There are some managers who are just stuck in their ways.
That's true. Yeah.
But no,
despite the fact the guy's pitching the game of his life, analysts we don't need to go there. But all right, we'll give him credit for that. Whatever. I don't want to be negative, but I guess we just were.
If they win the whole thing, like at the end of the day, does it matter? Anything that happened? No.
Just go win. But to your point, Italy feels like kind of a team of destiny. But I don't know who they're going to be throwing. Well,
Michael Lorenzen is going to be on the mound for them for the Team Italy
tonight
against Venezuela.
And then who would pitch the final for them? Probably the same guy that pitched against us in the, like, I don't even remember because it wasn't supposed to be a big game. Like, I'm worse than DeRosa.
No.
Like, we're just going to win, right? It's Italy, right? But I'm not getting paid to do it. Jesus Christ. All right, quick break. We'll come back on the other side and get into some Bucs stuff and a whole bunch of other. I got some Lightning stuff. And the players' finish yesterday was, wow, Cam Young, what are you doing? That was impressive. Very, very impressive. I'm going to check and see if he's still coming to Valspar. It's Valspar week, by the way.
Heck yeah.
It's Valspar week. And what a field. They have maybe the best field they've ever had. In this situation that they're in, they have the best field they've ever had. This is one hell of a job.
Cross your fingers, nothing changes, but the weather is setting up to be phenomenal
Perfect.
this weekend.
Okay, good. All right, we'll take a break. We're brought to you by the great folks at Pitch Roofing. PitchRoofing.com is where you go to get the great information on how to get your roof redone, get it repaired. Just get a free estimate. They'll come out, take a look at it for you, tell you what it's going to cost, when you need it done. You don't know probably, right? So let them get up there and tell you. And you know you're going to get a fair shake. They are honest dudes. I know them well. Bill and Ron over there, really, really good folks. I've been over to their office. Look at all the 5-star reviews they have. They really do a great job. And if you get your free estimate, you will be in the running for 2 tickets in the Mark, which is the all-inclusive club at Benchmark International Arena to watch the Lightning. I'll give you a backstage tour as well. So give them a call over there, Pitch Roofing, and the website is pitchroofing.com. Back in 3. Here for Pitch Roofing, one of our new sponsors and the most reliable and honest roofers in the business. They love the Lightning, and Bolts fans be entered to win a pair of premium Mark Club seats with every free roofing estimate from Pitch Roofing. Seats include food and beverages, early access, premium entry, and a backstage tour of Lightning Vision with yours truly. Always get 2 to 3 estimates when replacing your roof, and be sure to include Pitch as one of those roofing companies. With a free estimate from Pitch, they're not trying to hard sell you. They educate you on your roof and the process. Even if you do not choose Pitch Roofing as your roofer, they want to leave you feeling informed, knowing the different materials and manufacturers, and understanding the process and warranties. Very, very important. Pitch is an Owens Corning preferred contract, Better Business Bureau accredited, and MySafe Florida Home approved. That's very important as well. Pitch prides themselves on full transparency and customer first level of service. They also offer financing options, including 0% plans, ensuring a stress-free experience. Call my friends at Pitch Roofing, 727-67-PITCH. That's 727-677-4824, or go to pitchroofing.com.
Pitch Roofing, roofing done right.
As the Rays enjoy being back in their Tropicana Field home this season that was ravaged by Hurricane Milton, Italiano Insurance wants to remind us all how important it is to be properly insured. 40% of you are underinsured. That can mean financial disaster. Let the experienced and friendly agents at Italiano shop your policies for the best price and the right coverage. Italiano saved me over $1,000 on our auto insurance last year, over $500 on our homeowners insurance. They can do the same for you. That's a grand slam. Might as well get a double play by adding flood insurance and business insurance to your portfolio. Cost less than you think, and trust me, you do not want to risk your home or personal wealth. That's a whiff. So step up to the plate and call 813-877-7799 and chat with our all-star agents at Italiano Insurance, or call our Boca Grande office at 941-964-0400. JP here for Riveters, the official sports bar and grill of the JP Peterson Show. We're located just south of Ray J and Steinbrenner Field, so it's a great pre- and post-game spot, and the happy hour is amazing. Monday through Friday, 3 to 7. Check out these specials. $3 Bud Light drafts, $4 domestic bottles, $5 wells, $6 premium wells, $6 cocktails like margaritas. That's unheard of. And the Riveters food is freshly made daily. No freezers. Happy hour food specials include $3.50 tacos and barbecue sliders. $6 you get edamame or chips with the beer cheese, which is amazing. $8 buffalo chicken dip, my favorite. The truffle fries, chili cheese fries, also $8 at happy hour. as well as other specials throughout the week, including Taco Tuesdays, you get $3 tacos, and Wing Wednesdays, 7 o'clock to 1 a.m. in the morning, you get our amazing wings, 5 for $5 and $5 wells and wines. That's a good Wednesday night. So if you're tired of the preppy, overpriced, generic sports bars, come see the amazing, friendly bartenders and staff at Riveters, where customer service really matters. Riveters, just south of where the Rays and Bucs play. We'll see you there. Hey, the Golden Diamond Source wants to be your family jeweler, so don't wait any longer to find that one-of-a-kind perfect engagement ring for that special someone in your life. At the Golden Diamond Source, they can design anything you want personally. The Golden Diamond Source can help you trade in your old broken jewelry and use it towards a new purchase as well. And with gold prices at record high, now is the best time to do it. They only sell natural diamonds at the Golden Diamond Source, so if it's a real love, it should be a real natural diamond. Don't start your relationship with a fake diamond. Bad idea. And with the Golden Diamond Source first-time buyer program, you can learn all about the 4 C's in all the different shapes and styles. And they are able to show you a huge selection of inventory to choose from. And don't forget, 0% financing for up to 5 years. If you finance $5,000, it's only $83 a month. Make sure it's a Golden Diamond Source diamond, 3800 Almerton Road, always online at goldendiamond.com.
It's a love you give only at Golden Diamond Source.
Hey, lots going on at Genesis of Tampa, selling amazing vehicles and doing great things in the community. And March is Gray Bull Rescue Military Appreciation Month. A portion of all vehicle purchases go towards a donation to Gray Bull Rescue, who recently saved dozens of Americans from the cartel violence in Mexico. A great organization. St. Patrick's Day is coming up. Wear green, buy green, save green. Wear green to Genesis of Tampa on St. Patrick's Day, March 17th, for $500 off any vehicle in stock. Buy anything green that's green in color, the cars, SUVs, you get $1,000 off. Also, buy a vehicle between March 14th and 17th, and you'll be entered to win a trip to Ireland on us. How about that? Of course, Genesis vehicles are the best in class for value, technology, luxury. And there's a National Genesis Signature event going on currently to get 1.9% financing. Limitations apply. Whether it's the G70, G80, 90 sedans, or the incredible SUV lineup, take a test drive and see what everyone is talking about. It's special. Genesis of Tampa, 801 East Bears Avenue. Tell them JP sent you.
Let's go.
Right now, back to the show on FanStream Sports.
And we need a subscription to the off-air show. It's always better. Hate to say it, but certain things you just can't say in public anymore, you know? Welcome back to the JP Peterson Show. We love you guys. Thank you very much for joining us here, as you always do. Brought to you by the great folks at Riveters. Even though we do say almost everything we do, we have to somehow reword it at times, but we do say just about everything here. We try to be independent journalists as much as we possibly can in this world, or commentators, I should say. Anyway, welcome back. We love the folks at Riveters. It is the best place to hang out and watch sports all the time, whether it's WBC, which is now over, sadly. It's spring training. If you're going to a Yankees game, it's right down the street from that. If you're going to a big concert like Shay did over the weekend for Zach Bryan. How about Zach Bryan? Did you go?
No, I went to the one in 2024.
At Jacksonville, right?
No, here in Tampa.
Oh.
I don't remember much of it.
Okay.
So I thought it was a good idea not to go back again.
Baker was out there for the big finale. Yeah. We haven't heard much from Baker lately, but he was up there singing with Zach.
He was having a good time.
That's my quarterback. That's my quarterback.
When you think you're out, he pulls you back in.
I know, right? So what's Zach wearing the big Florida Gator shirt, though?
Yeah, that drew.
What are we doing there, buddy?
Drew a negative from me.
I heard it was. He almost played for 3 hours. Yeah, Shay said I might have Eric coming. She might be coming in and do a little review. What's that?
That's a long time. I gotta be honest. Like, I don't know how you feel about concerts, but like 3 hours is a little too much for me.
Hell no.
It's a little too much.
Springsteen used to play for 5 hours and take a 45-minute intermission in between.
Ugh.
It was awesome.
Gross.
It's the greatest thing ever. Get out of here with that. No, it's fantastic. That's the way all concerts should be, especially with the money. I used to pay $17 to go see Springsteen. He played for 5 hours. Now you pay $1,700. You're lucky if you get an hour and a half.
Boy, he's like
get out of here with that.
He's like 75.
Well, no, I'm talking about any other show. Any other show. Remember, kids? We used to pay $15 to go see Molly Hatchet, and they play for 4 hours?
2 hours to 2 hours and 20 minutes is my
get
sweet
out of
spot.
here, millennial or whatever you are, Gen, whatever you are. What are you? You ZX? What are you?
Listen, I was born in the 90s. I just barely squeaked in
As
there.
I say, we never label people here as I try to label you.
I barely squeaked in the 90s.
Yeah.
The last of the normal generation.
No, back in the day, it was you went to a concert. Yeah, but I will say Springsteen was out of the norm. But I went to I saw Elton John and Billy Joel play till about 2 a.m. at the old camping with the old Citrus Bowl.
I just would get tired of it at some point.
No, you don't get tired of it.
Burned out, and I'd be tired.
You're still screaming for Rosalita. 5 hours later, he hadn't played it yet, and you're just like exhausted, dripping wet with sweat, sitting at the top of the Hollywood Sportatorium. My God,
you said
it's the greatest thing
Springsteen
ever
for 5 hours.
Yes.
30 minutes max, and I'm leaving on Springsteen.
Well, now, yeah, I mean, I won't even go now, but back in the day, pre whatever it is now, yeah, it was fantastic. It's unbelievable, best time of my life. But yeah, play for 3 hours. Play for 3 hours. Damn right. For the ticket price we're doing,
you make
should be 4.
You make a good point about the ticket prices.
Yeah.
You know what? Fine. Play
We were
away.
just talking
Play
about
away.
what's happening to your wrestling.
Oh God.
We had a wrestling.
Don't get me started.
Here we go. Yeah, was it Tim Ham? No, that's not it. Where's the wrestling? Oh, here it is. Lonnie Wilkins said, Nick, the USA baseball team is the Cody Rhodes of the WBC. Cody went rogue, huh?
Well, Cody didn't go rogue.
Cody, no, he's the new champion, right?
Cody, yeah, shocker. Cody's got the championship around his belt again.
Yeah.
His waist again.
Yeah.
He's main eventing WrestleMania again.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So what's going on in wrestling? I told you I'd give you 30 seconds to rip him.
Randy Orton, turned heel the other night, Friday. He left Cody a bloody mess in the middle or outside the ring rather. Further adding to the build up to WrestleMania, which is coming back to Las Vegas next month.
Overpriced,
overrated, just blah, all of it.
So who ruined it? This new company?
This new company, TKO, they merged with UFC to create this one big company called TKO. UFC, by the way, not doing great either.
Is Dana White running the big company?
I mean, Dana White, I'm just still obviously a big player, but he now answers to somebody above him. Same thing with WWE answering to those above him. We got ads in the ring, which I can't stand. We got WrestleMania in Saudi next year, which is sounds lifeless to me.
Right.
The shows stink. They're overpriced. The
Oh,
you know about value for your time? The pay-per-views. They had the Royal Rumble or the Elimination Chamber last month. They had 4 matches on that card, and you took up 3 hours plus of my time for 4 matches.
Wow. Oh. Rick says to you, hey, wait until your daughter drags you through Disney and wants to leave early after paying $400.
I missed that. Can we see it again?
Down here. Back in the day, we used to have annual passes at Disney when Shay was young, and we'd love to go back, and when she was older, we'd go back all the time. And just, now it's like ridiculous. Like it takes, if you want to spend a few days at Disney, it's like $20,000. Like every decent hotel in Disney's $1,000 a night. $1,000 a night.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
See, and I hate going to Disney like just by myself because it's Stroller USA.
Yeah.
And I hate strollers all over the place. But now that I have a kid, I understand.
Gotta have them.
I understand you gotta have them.
That's your war wagon, baby.
But you're in the way.
You're in the way. I got wipes in there. I might have a little vodka in the bottom for those needs when you have to sterilize something. Yeah. I mean, you got to have that diaper bag, man. That was your lifeline, your ointment, that stroller was your lifeline. Yeah. Absolutely. The war wagon. Let's go. All right. Back to, by the way, I didn't even really set up the show here today. Orestes is coming in for the second hour. I got to take Shay to the airport this morning. Her flight was canceled last night because of the tornadoes in Nashville. So I'll be bugging out at 11, but the big man's coming in to talk baseball with you guys and others. So let's get to, first of all, big thanks to the Rough Riders who had me out for the St. Patty's Day parade this weekend. And Brian, who we were in a Hummer EV. Have you seen one of these things?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, Lordy, really nice.
And they let you drive the thing, huh?
They did for a little bit. They did. Yeah. I don't know why in a parade.
Did they make you walk the line before you got in?
Yeah, a little bit. But it was so fun. Like, this is one of the greatest things I ever did. So me and my daughter hanging out the Hummers, throwing beads and all downtown Tampa. It was fantastic. One of the greatest days. Titus O'Neill was the Grand Marshal. General Fenlon was there with us as well. Great dude, like fantastic. And I'm like the other guy that nobody knows. I'm just whatever, just throwing out beads. Like I have no idea who I am. That's fine. But thank you. That was like they were in here last week. Todd Perry and Lieutenant Colonel Bond, all of them just so nice and awesome. And I really appreciate it. It was such a fun thing to do. The Lightning against Carolina on Saturday night. They go down 2-0 early in the game. First shift, they're down 1-0. Just like lack of intensity. Both first two goals, Vassie makes a great saves on kind of, one was a full breakaway. The other one was a sort of breakaway. He makes a great save. And then there's no help coming. Like nobody's clearing the front of the net. Aho just sits there. Svechnikov just sits there wide open. Like after the initial save, where is everybody? Defensively, they're confused. Hedman is just god awful.
Can we stop sugarcoating Hedman? We're not doing it on this show, but I see a lot of people doing it on social media. Can we stop sugarcoating Hedman and saying like, oh, he just needs time to get back acclimate?
I love the dude. I mean, he's a Hall of Famer.
He's been in decline.
He's playing poorly.
He's been in decline.
Really.
And now couple it with the fact that he's probably not 100%.
His effort
he
level.
Looks like he shouldn't be out there.
Yeah.
And you can't hide him anymore.
No.
Everybody keeps saying, I'll just throw him on the third line with Dastu and let him play 15 to 18 minutes a night or whatever. I don't want him playing that. I don't want him playing 15 minutes a night. But the problem is
he's not right.
The way the other two guys in front of him, Chernak and McDonough, are going, I don't want them playing 20 a night. I got major questions about the defensive core right now for the Tampa Bay Lightning. And we're getting close to crunch time here.
Yeah. And that was, a lack of pushback in the third. They get it to 2-2. They score 2 goals in a minute 20. And you're expecting a big push in the third. And Carolina just shuts them down. And then even the last goal, the 3-2 goal, so it was an empty netter 4-2. Martinook takes, 200 feet from the and right up the middle of the ice. And there's, a couple guys sticking out their stick. And he goes in and, and then, puck kind of goes around and he takes a bad angle shot. It goes off Hedman. It's in the net. But still, it's like at that point of the game, you got to hit him. Like he's coming across, just skating down the middle of the ice. Like it's like the Olympics. He's going to do a triple sow cow at the blue line. Yeah. Like, what are we doing?
It's like 3 weeks ago, 2 weeks ago, 3 weeks ago, whatever it was. We're talking about Kucherov winning the MVP. We're talking about Vasilevsky winning the Vezina, Cooper winning his first Jack Adams. Fast forward, are the Lightning going to make the playoffs? Like all of a sudden,
they're 6 points out of the playoffs. Like they're +6, and they're
4. It's 4.
Is it 4 now?
It's 4.
Jesus.
Look at
on Sunday.
Look at the standings this morning. The Lightning have 84 points. The Red Wings and the Bruins have 80.
They're the last 2 in?
Yes.
Jesus.
And you could say the Lightning have a game in hand or 2 games in hand, but if you just keep losing, it doesn't matter.
It's like mirroring the Bucs season.
Yeah, we are on the verge of and I don't think, and I'm telling you, like the way things are going right now, like they're not doing they're not doing one thing well. It still is like, I'm waiting for him to like turn a corner, show some signs. They're not doing it. Yeah.
I'm not panicking yet. We still have the best coach in these guys, but he'll figure it out.
I just don't know what you do with the back four on your defense. I don't know how you do it. I mean, I saw Hedman playing with Chernak the other night. Please, I can't see that ever again.
David Terry said Hedman's got to sit. He's a liability at the moment.
The problem is you can't. They won't do it. Cooper will never do it, and there's nobody to sit. Carlisle now is out for basically the season.
Yeah.
You'd have all of a sudden you're in Lilleberg.
Crozier's out.
Carlisle's out. I don't trust Lilleberg at all.
David also says Yanni was the best player on the ice yesterday or on Saturday. Yeah, he was. That fourth line is playing their ass off. But everybody else, I mean, where's like the effort? Like, what's going on?
Cirelli's another one. He hasn't looked like himself since he came back.
Yeah, he's hurt. He's been hurt. Yeah, it's not good right now. They got to turn it around. Real quick on the Bucs, Ashawn Robinson, and he had a great interview talking about kicking everybody's ass when he was growing up, and like, yeah, we need that. We need some ass kickers on this defense, but it's the same with Anzalone. I mean, I love the dude's game, but it's like 5 years too late. I hope he's got a few years left in the tank, but it just feels like this whole class is a whole bunch of older guys that are coming here to retire. Maybe they're older, savvy guys that'll help us do a quick turnaround, but seems like a lot of
the way I look at the Bucs moves, analyzing it now. If you look at it in a vacuum, is A'Shawn Robinson an upgrade over Logan Hall and Greg Gaines? Sure. Is Alex Anzalone?
I don't know about Logan Hall, but all right.
He's a better run defender than Logan Hall, and that's what they needed more so than what Logan Hall does.
Okay. Well, Logan was playing out of position, so whatever.
Right. Is Alex Anzalone an upgrade over what they had at linebacker the last couple of years? Yeah, but everybody is, right?
Probably, yeah.
And so when I look at Anzalone, then it goes down to fit. I don't think Alex Anzalone is a good fit for this defense. He's 30. He's going to be 32 years old when the season begins, I believe.
9 years in.
There's a lot of wear and tear on that body. He had injuries earlier in his career. He had injuries in 2024. He's decent in coverage and everything. He's not going to be out of position, like maybe Servassier was. That's a plus. He's going to be like a quarterback in the middle of that defense. That's great. All the intangibles. Like I'm with you on all that. I got you. But I needed the Bucs to get better. They need to upgrade their athletic profile on their defense.
Yeah.
And what I've seen right now is, even though I think A'Shawn Robinson is going to fill a role better than what Logan Hall did, at the end of the day, he's slower than Logan Hall. And Anzalone is not exactly, I would say, quick at this point. And we
didn't get younger and faster.
At any point.
Did we get younger and faster anywhere on defense?
No, it was the only two additions so far. No. That's my point. It's like, and even on offense, like, is Gainwell an upgrade over Rashad White? Not as good of a pass blocker, but based on what he did last year in Pittsburgh and the role that he got, yeah, sure, you can sell me on that. Like, I think the Bucs got better, but
did we? We lost Mike Evans.
That's true. That's true.
Don't forget.
And when you take Jamel out,
you lost Rashad White and Mike Evans.
When you do take Jamel Dean out of the cornerback rotation,
yeah, and
you
Jamel
look
Dean
at the room,
and Izzian.
Yeah,
I don't think we're better.
Maybe you're right.
I don't think we're better at all.
They got better at some spots, but
maybe
at the end of the day, what's their ceiling? 8 to 10 wins again, wild card exit. Like, that to me is like they're still in that spot, and that's.
Would you rather have Devin Lloyd and Jalen Phillips?
Of course, I wouldn't be paying Jalen Phillips $30 million.
No, I wouldn't. Even, well, but
that's insane.
It's not my money.
It's not my money, but I think that's insane.
I don't know. We'll see. But, at least that's a guy you say, oh, you know what? He was hurt for 2.5 years. He's got a great profile. He played really well with the Eagles last year, really well. So you're like, okay, you can argue upside. You argue upside on A'Shawn Robinson. I shouldn't have said that because he will kick my ass. But can you argue that? Can you argue, it's a clear upside with Anzalone over Levante David?
I didn't think you had to pay A'Shawn Robinson $10 million to do his role.
No.
I think they were better. I think they're more athletic profile.
I don't know
better
what the hell
than
the Bucs are
Anzalone.
doing. And they pick up.
But at the end of the day,
hey, we did pick up the option on Riley Dixon.
That's awesome.
The 26th best punter who leads the league in blocks.
You can also say too, like, at the end of the day, if they had better coaching, maybe this roster could
then there's that.
You could elevate the roster a little bit, but I can't get
then there's that.
I think everything was doomed the moment they brought back Todd, personally. I think that's where I'm at. And none of these additions have outweighed what he does. So
hard to get excited. When the best part of your free agency is your quarterback singing with Zach Bryan at your stadium. That was the highlight, I think. Revival.
Yeah, maybe.
I don't think that's going to be the buzzword for this team this year. That's not going to be the theme song. On that, I will take my exit. Big O's coming in with you, Nick. I hope he's here soon, hopefully. I think he's coming in. Yep. And we got to get out of here. All right. Thank you guys so much. We got another hour coming up. I'm going to bolt, but I'll be back here tomorrow. We got Jim Lighthall coming on this weekend. We got a whole bunch of good stuff coming your way. So a quick break. Nick and the Big O will take you the rest of the way. Talk a little baseball and all kinds of stuff. Stay with me. Well, the folks at Third Generation Plumbing and AC want to say thanks for making them so dadgum busy. Of course, advertising on your favorite Tampa Bay sports talk show helps, but it's their incredible customer service, honesty, and integrity that have earned them tons of 5-star reviews. And now you could be part of the team at Third Generation. Yes, they are so slammed, they need to hire more certified AC technicians and plumbers. It's a great family business to work for. My buddy John Rodriguez runs an old school family business since 1995. They pay well, give you all the holidays off, and they offer great benefits. No cold corporate atmosphere here. You're part of the family. If this sounds cool to you, call them and apply at 813-961-8024, or you can email your resume in at thirdgenerationplumbing.com. Just go to the website, you'll see the button, email them, or call them at 813-961-8024. And don't forget about the $169 yearly maintenance special. It's a no-brainer, guys. thirdgenerationplumbing.com, and they also do AC.
Ciao, Paolo Tini here, owner of Caffè Paradiso, voted number 3 People's Choice Award on Open Table. I want to thank all our loyal family of customers that have been enjoying our great traditional Italian dishes we make from scratch every day. It's a great family story we're proud of. Our family moved from Rimini, Italy in 1984. My dad, Caesar, started Donatello, and that's where I got the start in the restaurant business. I started Caffè Paradiso on South McDill in 1995, and we've been there ever since. From our traditional ossobuco, a veal slow roast for 4 hours, to our daily fresh catch, the Gruppo Paradiso, with a piccata sauce and lobster claw meat, homemade pasta like lasagna, farfalle salchicha, which is a bow tie pasta homemade with fresh sausage. Hold on a minute, JP's favorite.
I love it.
So come and have a glass of wine with me on South McDill. Get a reservation on Open Table and see all our 5-star reviews. Ciao, see you soon at Paradiso.
Welcome to Kingmakers, home of the JP Peterson Show studio and Tampa's premier business networking and social club for members only. By day, it's an exclusive, vibrant co-working space with a stylish conference room, focus rooms, a full production studio, and an in-house marketing team. And by night, Kingmakers transforms into a sports-centric social hub with a full sports bar, golf simulator, and exclusive events. For young entrepreneurs and seasoned professionals, it's the perfect place to work hard, play hard, and make big moves in Midtown Tampa. Close the deal, celebrate the win. Only at Kingmakers. Become a member today at kingmakerstampa.com. Your business, your club.
Sports fans, it's time to gear up. Head to fanstreamsports.com and check out our brand new merchandise store. We're talking bold t-shirts, 3/4 zips, hoodies, hats, mugs, and more. Everything you need to rep your favorite shows and your favorite crew. Whether you're rolling with the JP Peterson Show in Tampa Bay, From the Rough in Dallas, the Tim May Show featuring Clay Hall, or the Jeff Thidoff Show in Ohio, or any of our FanStream Sports original programming, we've got the perfect look for game day and every day. So don't wait. fanstreamsports.com. Click merch and grab your gear now. Wear the stream, live the stream, fanstreamsports.com.
Hey, JP here for my concierge medical professional, Chris Lugo, PA. You've heard him on the show for a couple of years where he shares invaluable medical, nutritional, and supplement advice. With Chris, it's like having a medical provider as your best friend. What I love about this concierge service is the convenience and support he offers. I can text or call him 24/7 with any questions or concerns, and he'll promptly call in a prescription if needed. No office visits or copays required. It gives me peace of mind knowing I have someone genuinely invested in my health, not just focused on insurance profits. And the best part, the Bay Area Modern Medical Center's personal concierge service is more affordable than you might think. Don't let insurance companies dictate your health care. Take control of your health and wellness today. Visit BAMMC.com for more information and to schedule your initial free consultation. Empower yourself and take charge of your personal health with BAMMC.com.
They gave us the touchdowns, the tackles, the unforgettable moments. Now the NFL legends are teeing it up for a cause that matters, caring for kids. Join the Tampa Bay NFL Alumni Association annual golf tournament on Monday, March 16th at Carrollwood Country Club. Spend the day golfing alongside former NFL stars who play the game at the highest level. The day includes complimentary breakfast, luncheon, and award ceremony. The winning team will get an expense-paid trip to Tucson, Arizona to compete in the Super Bowl of golf tournaments. Register today at givebutter.com/QLHP3I. That's givebutter.com/QLHP3I. Or call James Ridley at 813-773-5723. 813-773-5723. Sponsor limited. Register today. Monday, March 16th at Carrollwood Country Club. Play golf, meet legends, impact local kids. Sponsorship still available.
Let's go.
right now. Back to the show on FanStream Sports.
All right, welcome back to the JP Peterson Show. Here, we're going to continue on. JP had to cut out to go take his daughter to the airport, so I'm going to take us home here for the rest of the show. Started talking about the Bucs there a little bit at the end of the first hour, and I wanted to sort of expand on it a little bit, and I saw some comments in here as well, so I'm going to get to those as well here too. But at the end of the day, like, the question is, like, did the Bucs get better after the first wave of free agency? And it's a difficult one to answer because, as JP sort of mentioned to me, like, at the end of the day, you did lose Mike Evans, even though it became pretty clear now that Mike Evans was not interested in coming back to Tampa Bay. But you lost him, and taking his presence away from the offense, even though their wide receiver room is much more equipped than others to handle the loss of Mike, you still don't have an X or a natural X receiver on the roster right now. And I don't know if you're going to be able to find that in this offseason. So you do take a hit there, as much as I was okay letting him go. And I said this many times, and that turned out to be a big if, they were willing to put more resources into the defensive side of the ball. And they're going to address a lot of these things in the draft. And that shouldn't be surprising necessarily. But you wanted to see them add some proven commodities. And they did not get that done really in the edge market in terms of a true needle mover guy. Al-Quadin Muhammad, career year last year, 11 sacks, going to be 31 years old, I believe. He was a good compliment to Aiden Hutchinson last year in Detroit. You got him for a reasonable deal. Like, I like the move. I don't like the move in that he's the only one that was added. And so I don't think like he's going to be a starter. And if he is a starter, then to me, like, I think you've whiffed. I just don't think he's that guy. I think he brings a lot of helpful things to the room. And if you were just selling me on he's an upgrade over Braswell, of course, and he's an upgrade over Nelson, of course, like, I get all that. But if he's a starter, like, to me, like, that's just, it's not good enough. And I say this knowing they're going to draft somebody at 15 or whatever, or they'll double up maybe in the draft at edge rusher. That's fine. I wanted to get more proven, number one type guy. And they maybe made a run at some of these guys and they didn't land any of them. So I think that's where a lot of the disappointment comes from. As I said, with Ajon Robinson and Anzalone, are these upgrades over what they had? Sure. But where is it taking the Bucs as they currently sit right now? To me, they still are in that sort of, they could win 8 games. They could win 9. If everything goes the right way, they can win 10 and still win a division that I still don't think has necessarily ready to turn a corner yet. The other teams, even though they made some moves, especially Carolina getting aggressive, I still don't think Carolina's there yet. But in terms of trying to get with the best teams in the conference, nothing they've done has suggested they're going to get there. Nothing they've done. And so now we wait to see what the draft brings. And clearly, it's going to be edge. It's going to be linebacker, of course. And that's the other thing. When you speak about linebackers, so far, Alex Anzalone was the only one that has been signed. I don't know what's going on with Lavonte David. I think I've made my thoughts pretty clear on this show. Love Lavonte. How could you not? Probably deserves to be a Hall of Fame type of player. But at this point, what is your interest level in seeing Lavonte David come back again in his age 36 season? And especially if he's playing next to Alex Anzalone, I'm trying to get younger and I'm trying to fit, more athletic linebackers in Todd Bowles' scheme. And I'm supposed to be excited about a soon-to-be 32-year-old Alex Anzalone next to 36-year-old Lavonte David? That's not cutting it for me. And that's not cutting it for me, regardless of who you draft, because those will probably end up being the 2 starters this season. So where are the Bucs going? What's the point of all this? Like, I don't think this is necessarily like a rebuild or anything like that. And why would they be going in a rebuild if they know that this has to be the year that they put it together to save Todd's job? Unless he's just got some crazy job security that I'm unaware of. And clearly after what happened last year, he still has a job today. Maybe he just does. I don't know. But I don't think the Bucs have gotten anywhere closer to the upper echelon of the conference. Maybe they got marginally better. I don't know. We'll see on the draft. So I think that's my full thoughts. Oh, Killebrew also, I should mention him coming off a torn ACL. If he's the player he was before in Pittsburgh, I like that a lot. I think he's got like 4 blocked punts in his career. He's been an all-pro type special teams ace. Special teams was a disaster for this football team last season. So I think they've probably upgraded there, especially bringing in Danny Smith, who's a very well-respected coach, special teams coach coming from Pittsburgh. So you can sell me on that. The other note with the Bucs that I wanted to address was all the stuff with Mike Evans. And I guess it was Thursday that he had his press conference, first press conference with the 49ers, and made some comments that I know a lot of Bucs fans are upset about. And until he released that statement through his Mike Evans Foundation, a lot of people were wondering, like, oh, is Mike going to put out a statement? Like, where's our statement? Personally, I don't see the need. Like, everybody puts out statements, but like, I'm not going in there thinking like, oh, I can't wait. Mike needs to give me a statement right now so I know how I feel about him. It's like a lot of people just feel like they're waiting for Mike to say something, and I get it. But to me, for the 12 years that Mike Evans was here, through his actions, not his words, but his actions, I think he told you what Tampa Bay meant to him, what the organization meant to him. And for 12 years, I mean, stand up, dude. He plays a position that, let's be honest, we see a lot of diva come out of these at a lot of guys at this position, and you never got anything of note with Mike. And we've lauded him for that for the last 12 years. And 2 years ago, he was a free agent, and he came back to Tampa and turned down opportunities to go to Houston, turned down opportunities to go to Kansas City, which you could have looked at and said were better opportunities. But this time around, things are different. And I don't think Mike was wrong in the way that he's felt about the direction of the organization. The guy is going to be 33 years old coming up next season. He wants to win. He wants to win at the highest level. He does not feel that the Bucs right now are capable of getting to that level. He sees San Francisco. He sees Kyle Shanahan, by the way, the ability to be in an offense like that, where now you're getting schemed open. Mike talked about it when he first had Canales and Cohen, like, how excited he was about, I've never been open like this open in my entire life. This is so great. Well, now he's going to get that, again in Kyle Shanahan's offense. And it is a team that is full of a bunch of veterans and a bunch of young players, a good mix. And, you look at you compare those two teams, the 49ers and the Bucs, both of them had injuries, big time injuries to the defensive side of the ball last year. The 49ers found a way to get to 12-5 and get to the playoffs. The Bucs, on the other hand, completely cratered at the end of the season. And Mike came back, and we saw the outburst on Thursday Night Football against the Falcons after the 3rd and 28 and the 4th and 14. Like, Mike saw all that. And he just did not see a pathway to winning. So why should anybody be upset that for the first time in his career, really, Mike Evans made a selfish football-first decision and said, I need to go somewhere else to finish my career because I would like to win another Super Bowl. I think there's a better place for me to do it. What's wrong with that? He's given the team, he gave the community 12 awesome years. He is the greatest offensive player in the history of this franchise. It's going to be very hard and very difficult to top what he did here in Tampa Bay. None of that changes. His name's going to be on the stadium. It's going to be an epic celebration one day. But it was time in Mike Evans' mind to go, and we should let him. I get it. It sucks. Everybody's emotional. I mean, I've said it many times, like, I'm right there with y'all. I feel like I've kind of grown up with Mike Evans' career in the Bucs. Would I prefer to have him here? Of course. But he made his decision, and I'm not going to get upset about him making that decision. And I hope he does great things in San Francisco. I'm not going to be rooting for him to be washed or anything like that, and I don't think he is whatsoever. So, yeah, I think that's about where I'm at on the whole Mike Evans thing. I was going to get to some of the comments here. Aviation says Justin Fields traded to the Chiefs. I actually have not seen that. I've been off Twitter for most of the show. I guess that's just added insurance in case Mahomes doesn't come back at the end of the season. Aviation also added, said our front seven is much improved over last season. Yes, right now it is. Like I said, I don't know to the level of where it's going to get you, but it is better on paper so far than what it was last season. That is very true. Play Blues Wolf says they're retiring with Bowles next year, then rebuild or sell off. Well, this year's going to be very telling. Which way this is going to go. If the Bucs, my thing is the Bucs roster, like I'm telling you right now, like I don't think they're as good as, the top teams in the NFC. That being said, it's not like it's a bad roster. Like I can't see the Bucs winning 5 football games or like 6 football games last year, unless just everybody gets hurt and everything falls apart, or there's this collapse that they had last year with Todd just carries over or something crazy. There's still too much talent on this football team. And especially like, the offensive side of the football, if they have all 5 starting offensive linemen back, even with Mike not being there, with the receivers they have and the Bucky and Gainwell duo, I think that's going to be a really fun thing. If Baker can get back to playing, some better football than he did at the end of last season, like they're too talented to be a team like that. I just don't think that they're at the top still. Nathan Elliott, good morning to you. 2026 Buccaneer free agency moves. Bucs signed guys that are vocal leaders on and off the field. Bucs will draft their replacements in the draft. I don't disagree with you. I think that's the thing that they probably were coveting a lot, is getting some veteran leadership in the building there and a little bit of nasty up front with Ashawn Robinson. I don't think he plays, as nasty as maybe he says. I think he's a decent to good run defender. Not really much juice in the pass rush game, probably not worth $10 million, but I understand the defensive tackle market got really inflated. Aviation says, Big O here has joined us here. Get him here in a second as I get through some of these comments. Nathan also said, let it all out, Nick. Let all of it, what you have to say about Mike Evans, and let's move on. Let's move on to the NFL draft in the 2026 season. Yeah, we're going to move on. We're going to move on for sure from this Mike Evans thing, but I had to address it because it has still been the big topic and it's still very fresh. And there just seemed to be a lot of people on social media who were saying some interesting things about Mike's legacy. And I don't necessarily agree for a franchise legend like that, who wants to go out the way he wants to go. We're going to welcome in Big O right here. How you doing?
Yeah, I'm
got
good.
You on
I'm
here.
Good. I'm stoked, man. Just fresh off an incredible baseball game last night. And but yeah, just to follow up on the Mike Evans, please don't disparage the legacy that was Mike Evans.
No.
That guy, yeah, you have to respect what he did on the field, off the field. And he just made his decision. It was kind of more of a business decision, I think, but a personal decision as far as him not looking at this team and winning a championship. There's certain guys, we can tie that into baseball, because even in last night's game, when you look at guys like Harper, 15 years in, hasn't won a World Series.
Right.
Judge, with all the greatness, headed to the Hall of Fame, hasn't won a World Series. So there's Schwarber, hasn't won a World Series. Soto hasn't, so there's guys that, they'll pick a particular team thinking, I've got 2 or 3 more chances left. I want to win a championship.
Yeah, and that's why I don't blame Mike. He's 33 years old.
Right.
And the Bucs I don't think they're there yet. San Francisco's a little bit different. That's what he said. It's a football decision. And he's never made what I would call a selfish decision. He's always taken less than market value to play here.
That is true.
Prioritized winning, said the right things, been out in the community. He made a decision for himself.
Yeah.
So, but anyway, we'll touch on now some baseball. So we had the World Baseball Classic last night.
Holy cow.
Sometimes we have hype going into certain events, and it's like, can we possibly reach the hype? And last night, it wasn't like this crazy affair of all this scoring and all this offense necessarily. But me and JP were talking about earlier, it was the fact that every batter that came to the plate, was a threat at any moment, could take one deep. And I feel like that added to the tension of the game with it being a 1-score game. So what were your overall thoughts?
Overall thoughts was a phenomenal game. It kind of, the main thought that I had watching it was how beautiful the game of baseball is when it's played like that. Obviously, I was thinking not so much a slugfest because I know both sides had deep bullpens. Was questionable on Severino because he hasn't been great the last couple of years, but definitely has the talent. Expecting Skeens to do his thing, which he did. So then I was thinking, okay, we'll see how good each pen is. And I was expecting a 5-3 game, somewhere in thereabouts, some more offense because of the power, especially from the Plátano power of the Dominican Republic and even, the greatness of Team USA. A lot of them talked about that offense has been averaging over 7 runs a game for the DR. But the U.S. hasn't really gotten going. But we're talking formidable bats, 1A, or 1B to DR's, 1A. Now, let's work the game backwards, Nick. If you work the game backwards, you go to that 9th inning. The ABS did come into play.
Yes.
There's no doubt about it. JP was texting me and said that was a ball, and I was, like, no, that was a strike. And then I kind of replayed it over and over, and I go, yeah, that actually.
You didn't realize how low it was on that little box they had. I was like, it looked closer than what it was.
And I'm going to talk to you as a former hitter, former player. First of all, Cody Blazer, the home plate umpire, 15-year veteran. Not only has he, umpired the last 2, this is his 3rd World Baseball Classic, but 15-year veteran, really good umpire. Known to be a good ball and strike caller. I thought he had a very solid game. He's umpired postseason, you name it, right? That pitch, first of all, nobody in the world, I think, was expecting, Miller to throw a slider. I think everybody other than the catcher and the pitcher, even the coaches, the players, fans, people watching like us on TV, here comes a 102, right? Perdomo did an incredible job of filing off pitches, and then he drops this incredible slider on him, which, by the way, had so much bite to it that the last foot and a half is where it disappeared. I even took a screenshot. I replayed it several times, took a screenshot, and as it's coming out over the plate, it's actually a strike. Then it drops because of the depth that he has in his slider. That guy, by the way, that guy is a phenom.
I think going into that game,
23,
19 of his 23 of 24 of his last hitters were all strikeouts.
28, something like that. Just something ridiculous.
Yeah.
His fastball has so much, movement and carry to it because his spin rate is dramatic and it's at 101, 102 consistently. It's not like he's at 98, then he pops up. The dude's 101, 102. And then his slider is a slurve. If those of you that follow baseball, it's more of a hard breaking slider that has depth that goes down. Most sliders are called a slider because they slides across. But so difficult pitch to call. ABS would have called it a ball, and it would have created what I think would have been a monumentous scenario. I kind of almost wanted it, which is his teammate Fernando Tatis Jr. with 1st and 3rd, the game on the line, but I can see how he called it a strike. That was not a blatant ball call. So let's put that aside. Now, you move into the game, and a couple of key managerial decisions. One I agreed with manager Albert Pujols, keeping Severino after the incredible top of the 3rd, right? And I'm going to get to the top of the 3rd in a second. And he gets through that top of the 3rd with 2nd and 3rd. Boom, gets out of it. He's pumped up. You keep him in. Severino had not pitched that well in a long time. He might have had a couple outings like that with the A's, but he wasn't even happy in Sacramento.
He was that fastball was jumping to start the game.
He popped 99. We haven't seen 99 since his early Yankee days.
He threw 100 actually in the first. One of them said 100, and I was like, okay, I've been watching Severino pitch for a good deal, and I was like, I don't recall him throwing 100 still.
No, 96, 97, and usually hovers around 94, 95. Everything was breaking nice. He was pumped up. Gets out of that. Some people will think well, just go ahead and go to your, storied and incredible, because they do have an incredible bullpen. So did USA. And we saw both of them work, right? He keeps them in. Gunnar hits a jack. Then he takes him out. I'm okay with that. A lot of people were like, don't even start him in the 4th. I disagree with that. The key play of the game, no doubt. Other than one-on-ones and kind of falling short, and the ones that didn't fall short, we'll talk about that in a second, was in the 7th inning, bottom of the 7th, you're down 2-1. Austin Wells coming to the plate. You've got this inning and only 2 more, at-bats in the 8th and the 9th. You're seeing the game develop to be a one-run game. This is not going to all of a sudden open up. The relievers are dominating. You've got Mason Miller. If you're a manager, you know that Mason Miller is in the horizon, right? That's the equalizer. So you need to be ahead before Mason Miller comes up. So you have to either tie or go ahead. If you're managing that game properly, you're already knowing, listen, Austin Wells gets on base on a hit, a single, a double. Lo and behold, he hits a homer because he's got the power. But realistically, he gets on base. I'm already thinking, if he gets to second, however he gets to second, on a double, a walk, a hit, he gets pushed over. But I'm pinch running for him. The fact that he didn't pinch run for Austin Wells when you had Rosario on the bench, speedster, O'Neal Cruz. If you don't want to, pinch run O'Neal Cruz because you want to use him to pinch hit, which he did, right, in the 9th, fine. Then use Rosario, because what happens in the game of baseball? Scoring from second is a lot harder than people realize.
Yeah.
The easiest way to score, if it's a ground base hit in between second and third, first and second, dare I say, best one is ground ball, hard hit up the middle, because all the bounces that it takes to get to the outfielder, even a catcher, that runs average, which he's an average running catcher, can score. But people don't realize that a hard hit line drive base hit is hard to score on. So not only does Perdomo get a bullet to left center, but he has to turn and freeze to make sure that Witt doesn't make another outstanding play.
Fair.
Who's made already a couple at the game, and he has to be held. A glaring mistake there by.
Well, that could be, because I don't know what the extent. I think Albert is a manager in what league?
Well,
is
last year, his first experience of managing was last year when he managed Junior Camaro's Escogido team.
Yeah, that's right.
To the title, and then they went on to the Caribbean World Series, and they won the Caribbean World Series. It was a big deal.
And I know he did interviews this year for MLB jobs,
and he's going to get there one day.
Yeah, but it could just be inexperience, maybe playing a role
I think
there.
Inexperience, and again, not only Albert, but that's where you have a bench coach, and that's where you have
somebody's
other
got to
coaches
get that
going,
in.
hey, the moment, listen, hypothetically, he gets even to first base, but he actually, was.
When the hit happened, like I even said out loud, I was like, oh, tie game.
Yeah.
And I looked down and I looked up and I saw Wells round third, and I was like, oh, wow.
You needed. And his comment at post game was, I wanted to keep my best catcher in the game. What if something happens to Ramirez in the 8th and 9th? Come on, you can't be worried about. You have Ramirez, who is a major league catcher, can catch into extra innings. By the way, if they go into extra innings, you got it. Ramirez, don't get hurt. Buddy.
It is not even that big of a difference from a talent between the two of them.
No, Ramirez is an excellent defensive catcher. So he just forgot. And here's the catch. And you're talking about inexperience in managing, maybe even in his own staff. How were they winning all the other games until this game?
With the power.
Routes.
Yeah, just
routes.
Just run rules.
They 10 run rule 2 teams.
Yeah.
So they were averaging 7+ runs a game. You're not making a whole lot of managerial decisions.
And it kind of felt too like to the point where like this was a tight game, obviously, and like listen, all 3 runs were scored via the long ball.
Sure.
So, and that's what got the DR here was the way they were hitting the long ball. So like, do you deviate from your plan or whatnot? But it felt like some of the at-bats that the DR had, especially late,
get to those
from Tatis, Machado, I just felt it was a little too aggressive.
Oh, dude. But here's the incredible thing about baseball. And I'll tell you, firstly, who led, other than the pitching, and we're going to get to the pitching, but offensively, who led this game? You had a kid by the name of Junior Caminero. By the way, 22 years old.
Mm-hmm.
It's a nasty running slider fastball, and he pulls it for a home run.
It doesn't make sense how he hit that.
How he hit that
like,
ball.
We were talking about it earlier. Like that was a very I can't imagine Skeens was trying that was where he was desired that pitch to go.
Yeah.
But I thought like, okay, like you missed your pitch there, but didn't look like it's something that would cause you a lot of damage.
No.
The fact that Junior was able to like yank that one to
Yank
left.
it.
Like,
If anything, you maybe hit a double to the right center on it, or maybe you get over it a little. You have no idea how hard it is to get up around that ball and yank it 400 feet like he did. 22 years old, Junior Caminero. Oh, by the way, Gunnar Henderson hits a home run off of Severino to tie the game up. 24 years old, Gunnar Henderson. Oh, Roman Anthony hits a homer off of a nasty lefty in Soto. 21-year-old Roman Anthony. And if you want to add a guy that's already kind of been around because he got called up, and he's been a star since he got there, Bobby Witt Jr., I think already in his fourth year, maybe. 25-year-old Bobby Witt. So, and then, dare I say, forget 23-year-old Paul Skeens. So the game of baseball, when I was watching this game, it made me realize that baseball is in really good hands, for the next decade plus. But on the flip side, here's where you're going to freak out. In the third inning, you have runners at second and third, $40 million a year, Aaron Judge, and $30 million plus a season Schwarber strike out to end the inning. In the fifth inning, with one out and runners on first and second, $50 million plus a year, Juan Soto grounds it to an easy ending double play. In the seventh inning, with runners on second and third, $24 million Tatis Jr. and $17 million, who I wanted dramatically to come to the Rays, Ketel Marte strike out to end the inning. And then in the eighth, DR goes down 1-2-3 with Soto, $38 million a year, Guerrero Jr. Grounds out weekly to the pitcher. Soto struck out. And then $32 million a season, Machado strikes out to end the eighth. They go down weekly. That's $181 million among 7 players that completely did nothing in this dramatic win-or-go-home game. What does that kind of tell you? That tells you, me at least, one thing. The game of baseball arguably is the greatest game in the world. And I'm going to tell you why. Because hitting a baseball is the hardest thing to do in any sport. I'm sorry, everybody can come out, and there's better athletes in basketball, and I think hockey are some of the greatest athletes in the world. But the act of hitting a baseball was shown up yesterday as how hard it is to do, and it's the hardest thing in the game. Because, Nick, tell me, what other sport do you have multiple greats? These are multiple greats at 181 million, 7 players that I'm talking about. Where in a key game, multiple 5 or 6 or 7 greats don't do anything in their game. I don't think there's a sport where you see that.
No, I would agree with you. In fact, I think baseball, I've seen other athletes, whether it's something as simple as throwing out the first pitch of a baseball game.
Right.
Or like them taking a little, like hitting off a tee or just taking a few batting practice swings. Like I've seen like Giannis, and Antetokounmpo do this, and other like big time athletes. They look like they look like the worst athlete in the world when you put a baseball bat in their hand. And it's like, okay, now try doing that when 100 is coming at you with the movement. And that's the other thing too. Like, I mean, Skeens, outside of Caminero, but until Cameron hit that home run, everybody seemed a little uncomfortable against Skeens. And even Junior, like he swung through 2 nasty splitters off it. I mean, 95 splitters. Are you freaking kidding me? Like, how do you touch that? But then he hits that one out there, and that was a good moment for him. But then, Paul got hit around a little bit after that, but he managed the game well. He
throws inside.
Yeah.
Like old school.
Yeah. I mean, he just added further to like the aura about him.
Yes, he did.
23 years old. And like, you've been watching the game, playing it obviously a lot longer than I have. I can't recall anybody just coming straight into it like this and being this dominant and effective.
I mean, you'd have to go back to Clemens. You'd have to go back to a young Roger Clemens in his early 20s with Boston. And you're like, who is this hoss? You know what I mean? Clemens, and then a young Pedro, when he was in his early 20s. I faced him when he was the Dodgers before he got traded to Montreal. Was just dramatic and built on it. But maybe neither of those this quick and this, dramatic. There, obviously we have social media and we have more ways of finding out about people and seeing, videos. But from the experience of having faced Roger and Pedro Martinez and a young Randy Johnson, that was his first strikeout in the major league, so I know about that. This guy definitely is right up there because it took Screwball a little while to become Tarek Screwball. He's the best pitcher in the game, period. Don't even question it. As good as Skeens is, I take Tarek Screwball in a one-and-done game. But Skeens is just dramatic. So it's just kind of, but again, getting back to how hard this sport is to hit a baseball, think about basketball. If you have 4 or 5 future Hall of Famers in a game 7, are you going to tell me that nobody's going to score double digits?
That just wouldn't happen.
No, all 5 of them are going to be at least in the teens, if not the 20s, right?
Especially with as locked in as so many of those guys were,
right,
coming into, especially right in the thick of the order. I think Soto all the way down to Caminero were all hitting, well over 300,
dude,
with all the home runs. Like the only guy in that lineup who really wasn't going into that game was probably Julio Rodriguez.
That was it, which I would have pinch hit Julio Rodriguez, but it didn't matter because he ended up walking. But in the 9th, I would have pinch hit O'Neill. But regardless, that was an iffy one. That's not like the Austin Wells decision. You needed to have ran Austin Wells 100%. But other than that, these guys were raking, and they just got stymied. I'm going to add one other thing that kind of ties into the Rays in this game, because I'm watching this game and I'm realizing, holy shit. 5 of the 13 pitchers that were used. In fact, U.S. used 4 of them back innings to back.
Mm-hmm.
Rogers, Jax, Bednar, Whitlock, all in the American League East.
Yeah, and every run that was accounted for, all American League East.
All American League East. So, dude, let's just go ahead and throw Camilo Doval in there.
Yeah, his stuff looked good last night.
Stuff looked great last night. American League East. The American League East is not the East. It's the beast. It is the premier league this year, or division, and it showed up last night with the offense and on the mound. So it's going to be a daunting year. Dare I say, there could be a World Series, champion coming out of all 5 of those guys could win the World Series.
Well, look at it. If you go back to, you could even back this up even further. 2018, the Red Sox won the World Series. 2020, the Rays are in the World Series.
Right.
You had the
Yankees.
The Yankees were just in it a couple years ago. The Blue Jays got in it last year. The only one that hasn't gotten there is Baltimore.
Baltimore's come up short in the playoffs numerous times.
Right, but Baltimore looks like they went for it this year with the additions they made. We'll see if the pitching's enough. But that's still a really good baseball team with a lot of young talent on it. And so you sort of start to look at it. I was the same way as you. I was thinking about this. Okay, how do we bring this back to the Rays, and where are they at right now? And before we know it, the season's going to be here next week. We're here.
It's 10 days, man.
We're here.
11 days.
We're here, and the good thing is Junior's ready to go. I told JP, it was like, I don't know how you handle him for the rest of this time before opening day. Like, are we good on Junior? Does he need to stay up, get out there maybe a game or two?
20 or 30 more at bats.
Yeah.
But he's good.
Yeah. Aranda looked good when he was out there for Team Mexico.
Good. Very good.
Biondi, amazing. We all know those 3 guys are going to be the centerpiece what the Rays do.
Those 3 are the centerpiece.
I tell you what, though, the pitching, we had a great development last week, rather. Shane McClanahan goes to the mound, or maybe this was Saturday. I'm losing track of the days. But Shane McClanahan goes out there for what I believe was his 3rd start of spring training. He goes 3 2/3. Yesterday, right?
Yeah.
There you go. 3 2/3.
Yeah.
No hits, 7 strikeouts.
Yeah.
Generated 10 whiffs. He averaged 94.8 on his fastball, and he touched 97.5.
It was exciting to see that because it was a starting roster for the Pirates, by the way. This is like pretty much their everyday lineup. So he was going after a team that's on the upswing, believe it or not. I think the Pirates aren't going to get super deep, and I don't know if they'll make the playoffs, but they're going to be super competitive.
Yeah, they're going to be a difficult bunch to deal with.
Yes. And you're also in the the Central and the
weird
National
division.
Leagues. It's a weird division. You
Yeah.
just never know. It's kind of like the American League Central. You never know it from year to year. If you have a sleepy team or somebody struggles and you jump them. So what he did yesterday, coupled with the first quick little outing and looking nice and getting his feet wet, the second outing was a little shakier, but still good. I think he's taking major strides and super excited to see. He's the type of guy coming off of those two back-to-back, serious injuries that you do have to. I don't like to use the word baby, but you have to keep him on a leash, a short leash, where you're going, all right. Let's say he has a game where he's 5 innings and he's throwing shutout baseball and he's giving up 6 hits and 1 run. Well, should I let him out? And he's at 87 pitches. You take him out. You just got to take him out because we need to make sure that he lasts the season. I'd like to see him get 140, 150 innings. I'd like to see him have the year that Drew Rasmussen had last year.
Yes.
If I get that from him, then we can have him in postseason and unleash him a little bit.
Yeah, because I've said this. I think he is probably the one guy that the way the Rays' future and the way this season goes, I think a lot of it hinges on which Shane McClanahan you're getting, how many innings you're getting out of him, how effective he is.
100%.
Because the last time we saw him, I think we forget because it's been so
He was
long.
so good.
We're talking all-star game starter type stuff. Like that's the kind of
Cy
player.
Young type stuff.
Yes, that's he kind of was, maybe I don't know if they are comparable or not, but he was before Skubal. He was like probably the premier left-handed pitcher in the game.
Skubal was
at that time. Skubal hadn't gotten to that level yet.
He was on his way up, and you were noticing Skubal and going like, "Oh shoot!"
But Shane McClanahan was the premier left-handed power thrower in the league.
Yeah.
So that's the impact that he could have. So he's a very important part. And another thing I wanted to ask you, because they're starting to do roster cuts, and if things trimming down, I think we got some pretty interesting roster, discussions to have here. And I'm zooming in on right now the center or the middle infield.
Yeah.
I don't know what the Rays are going to do because I see 2 spots and I see 3 players.
Right.
And that is going to be Taylor Walls, Carson Williams, and Ben Williamson.
Yeah.
And they went out and they acquired Ben Williamson not too long ago. I don't think many people knew much about him.
No.
But this year in spring training, he's gotten a lot of at-bats. I think he has the second most at-bats on the team. He's hitting 379.
Yeah.
He's hitting them like routinely over 100 off the barrel, which he's never really done before.
Like 20 pounds heavier.
Yeah,
stronger.
he's been the spring training standout. I'd probably argue right next to Jake Fraley, although Fraley has less at-bats. So it's like, how do you handle
and you
that?
kind of expected Fraley
he's a veteran.
Crush, especially against righties. He's a crusher.
So how do you handle that mix, those 3 guys? Because I assume it's 2 roster spots up for grabs with those 3.
100%. And oh, by the way, you have Gavin Lux, you know what I mean, who's supposed to start.
Supposed to be the starter.
Yeah.
But,
so on, opening day early, it should be, unless, anything rears his ugly head about Gavin's, his side, he was having some issues early in camp, but he's been playing now every day and getting a couple, 3 at-bats. Gavin Lux should be your second baseman. It's shortstop that I have a real tough time with. And as much as Taylor Walls has shown a little bit of offense in a short sample this year or this spring,
he is what he is.
He is what he is, my friend. Right? An incredible, dynamic, great defensive fielder, both at short or second. But you need more offense. And that's where Carson Williams, who, by the way, has had himself.
He's hitting 364.
Yes.
And we went in saying, if you're Carson Williams, how do you make the opening day roster? You need to dominate in spring training. He's hitting 364. And how many
strikeouts does he have? If I'm not mistaken, I think he's got 4.
He's got 5 strikeouts and 22 at-bats, which, it's not, I'll take that.
It's not great, but it's
for
okay.
him, I'll take it.
Couple of walks. This kid has got so much upside. Now, he could quickly be shown up, again in the big league level like he was last year. But I just think that, and the odd man out in all of this is the oft injured Richie Palacios.
Timing is everything. And
he missed most of last year.
Yeah.
Then you come into camp with all these names that we just threw out, right? All these names that you're talking about. Oh, by the way, slide in Ryan Velarde, who could also play second, first, third, and covered both corner outfields, and he's swinging the bat powerfully from the right side. Richie's a left-handed hitter. We're stacked with left-handed.
And when he was out there, I mean, 6 strikeouts and 11 at-bats, or 9 at-bats.
I think that he's going to be an odd man out.
I think so too. I think but I didn't mind this though, like, because they added a lot of, I don't know if a lot of these guys necessarily are going to like move the needle in like a big direction necessarily, but they brought in an abundance of players to provide competition, especially in the outfield with Velotti, Justin Henry, Malloy. Mullins comes in. DeLuca's already been there.
Youngster Melton, who's
Melton, Simpson, like he had all these guys, competing for like usually 4 outfield spots. And I think if you narrow it down now, I think Mullins is going to be on this roster, and I know he's dealing with an injury now.
A little bit, but he's coming.
He's going to be on this roster.
He looks good. He hit a home run yesterday.
Chandler's going to be on the roster. I think they like DeLuca a lot. That he'll be on the roster.
Fraley crushes righties.
And Fraley's on the roster.
I just sit him against lefties. So that's where you use DeLuca, who's had a hot spring, and we know what we got with DeLuca, who, if he's healthy, DeLuca's a nice player.
Yeah. And that's what I think.
Velotti can also, let's say, a tough lefty. But my core outfield should be, Simpson, Mullins, and Fraley. And I think Fraley could hit 20, 25 home runs. It's just, how long do you keep him out there against lefties? Mm-hmm. Maybe you give him a few starts early on to see if runs into a few. But if he really, really struggles, like what his stat line has been throughout his career, it's close to 200 against lefties, and he crushes against righties. So then you have to have that platoon situation. I'm okay with that. So you use DeLuca, you use Velotti, whoever's hot, right-handed. You can even throw Williamson out there if you want to, if he's been hot.
Right.
But Malloy is not making my team.
No.
Melton needs to hit every day.
Melton, I think what people love.
He's a future star.
Yeah, I think Melton is in their plans for sure, but I don't think he's helped himself this spring, because I think everybody remembers the 2 tape measure shots that were kind of earlier, but we forget the fact that we've had a lot of spring training since then. He 12 strikeouts and 28 bats. He's hitting 143.
He's not ready.
He's not ready.
What's interesting, because yesterday, in talking about looking at it, look up real quick Connor Griffin with talking about the Pirates, and their their future looks very bright, by the way. And I'm a former Buck, former Pirate back in the 80s, and I'd like to see them come back to being a frontline team in the National League, and they've kind of dropped. I don't think they've made the playoffs in the last dozen years. But he's only 19, but 6'4", 220. Mm-hmm. Guys, Alex Rodriguez meets Cal Ripken Jr., reincarnate. But I don't think he's had that good a spring.
No, it's the thing where like he's had 4 home runs.
He's had 4 monster shots.
Yeah, everybody sees the home runs and they go crazy.
Yeah. But I think he's hitting like 200.
He's hitting 212, and his on base is 278.
Yeah, that's not. I'm sending that kid down and play every day in AAA.
I don't think he's played AAA ball.
No, he hasn't. That's
so
what
you're
I'm saying.
You're asking a 19-year-old to just.
But there's a lot of hype, and Pittsburgh kind of needs some hype. You know what I mean? So are they going to do a Seattle Mariners from yesteryear back in the day? And when Seattle said, "Hey, we have these incredible future talent," because he's going to be a stud, and they decided to bring up a 19-year-old Ken Griffey Jr. and a 19-year-old Alex Rodriguez, when they weren't winning a whole heck of a lot then.
Yeah, I understand the thing about how they need to
market
and the hype, but also like I think having the guy we already talked about in place is a lot of hype. I think they made some free agency. They finally were active in free agency.
They did.
I think that adds some hype to it.
I like O'Hearn. I like obviously Brandon Lau was a great pickup.
Yeah, you got to be smart about it, because
it was a good pickup.
Yeah, and I pulled out, or I went up here and pulled up, like Caminero. I was just comparing it to him because 2 phenom prospects, and I think we all were like begging in 2013, even like, okay, Junior Camanero's done all this great stuff at AA and single A. Let's see him now, because we all want to see these guys quick, right? Well, the Rays played more of a patient approach with Junior, and we really didn't get to see a decent sized cameo of Junior until the back half of 2024.
Correct.
And then they unleashed him this year, and he hits 45 home runs.
Yeah.
So I think playing the long game, like not everybody's Juan Soto, where you're 19
or
and
Alex
and
or Junior.
Yeah, like not everybody's like those
Griffey
guys.
Jr., those guys were truly in a league of their own, and they crushed off the bat. So I don't think Connor, do you want to give a guy a bunch of at-bats and kind of, set his timetable back when he's 19? This isn't hockey.
Right.
You don't rush at hockey. You're at 19 and you're a stud. You're in the NHL.
Yes.
Right? Because they know the legs are only going to last, if you're lucky, 10 years. So you're not playing into your, how many guys are great in their early to mid 30s in hockey? Not many.
It just, everybody's on their own timeline. Like I even think of what PCA now is starting to put it together. When he first came up, he struggled. He struggled a lot.
Yeah, he did.
A lot of these guys struggled a lot. So but the game, as you mentioned, we're talking about all these great young players. It's in such a good spot. And I think,
really is.
trying to put a wrap on this WBC so far. And I'm putting a wrap on last night, but I recognize tonight we have Italy and Venezuela.
How about that?
I mean,
Italy.
the Italian team, undefeated.
Allora, por favore, come stai? Un doppio espresso.
Drinking espresso in the dugout. I've never seen that before. The tournament is just.
I lived that.
Maybe you've seen different things, obviously.
Here's the funny thing. See, in winter ball, and anytime they're playing a league in Dominican Republic, the summer league, but definitely in winter ball, when you take shots of espresso all the time. We would have a coffee thing there during the game, and they would just take a little shot just to pump you up if you needed to, wake up a little bit. So that's kind of been a norm, but of course it's because of it's Italy. They're known for their espresso, and then it just became, which I think is super cute. I think it's super cool. The great thing of this WBC is that it's been building and building and building every 3 years. We have obviously had the hiccup from 17 to 23 because of COVID, but it's really been a success. And I applaud Rob Manfred for coming up with this idea. I was fortunate enough to cover it at an in-depth level in 06 and 09 for ESPN and got to see the inner workings. But those are the early years. It was still kind of rough. Now it's a machine, and countries are excited. The fact that teams like Italy, even though they used a ton of major league players with names ending in AEIOU, so what? I mean, the descendancy, as long as the descendancy is there,
right,
it works. I'm fine with it. It doesn't have to be, for that matter. The Netherlands have I doubt if they have a Dutch player on their team.
Right.
They're all from Curacao and Aruba, and nobody's complained about that since day one of the WBC.
I mean, Arenado has played for Puerto Rico this year. He played 2 WBCs in the U.S.
The craziest thing is Cervelli, the manager of Italy, is going up against Venezuela, where he grew up in Venezuela, and he's ever bit of a Venezuelan when you meet him. But his father is Italian from Italy. So, it fits. It works. I think the WBC has been wonderful. JP and I last week did delve into the difficultness of playing these types of mammoth tournaments. We just came off the Olympics, and it definitely affected the 20 days, affected, teams, including our very own Bolts. Because you have to take a break. When are you doing it? With the Olympics, they have to literally stop a season.
Right.
That's complicated.
It is very complicated. And the other thing that's looming in that discussion is what's happening with this whole collective bargaining stuff. And that's a whole thing. And I don't want to go down the rabbit hole on that. All I'll say is, I can't sit here and pretend to know all the inside and outs of how this is all working and where it stands. I think Major League Baseball, both sides, PA and MLB, would be doing a huge disservice to their sport if they get to a point where this reaches a stoppage, because this sport,
a major stoppage. I'll be okay with a month.
Yeah, if it was like how we had in 22.
Yeah,
no major league games were compromised.
Right.
Fine.
Or even if a handful are compromised. I'm gonna be honest with you. It's so many games that I'm okay that they play 150 game season. But if you truly compromise the season,
you're making. You need to be very careful.
Massive.
And both sides are going to have to eat a little crow here, because this game right now has so much momentum.
Yes.
I mean, we just saw this amazing, these last 2 World Series, like 2 years ago, we had Yankees and Dodgers in the World Series. We're the little engine that could over here in Tampa.
Right.
We look down at the New York, LA,
right,
to the wide world audience, Yankees, Dodgers, World Series,
Huge.
Judge, Ohtani. Doesn't get any bigger.
No.
This past year, we get this Toronto team, which covers all of Canada,
all of it,
and everything, the fun that they brought to the game. And then you get the Dodgers, the big bad Dodgers, Los Angeles, Ohtani.
Built it up again. And an incredible World Series.
Incredible World Series. The viewership was out of this world in Canada and in the U.S. Then we go straight into the WBC. You see the energy. You could feel it over the TV screen.
You make great points, man.
How in the world can you stop this game? There's no way.
There is a way.
There is a way for sure.
And they're talking about making it sound like there is a way, but I agree with you. I'm not a big proponent of kicking the can down the street, which they kind of did in the last CBA. They just kicked the can down. But at this point right now, I'd say kick the can down the street for another 5 years, dude. You know what I'm saying? Because
it's just too good.
And just
right
compromise a little bit and agree to disagree and keep this train moving forward. Because listen, the world is in a very volatile state right now. There's a lot of goodness in the world. I don't want to try to, I definitely, because, you follow all the trends and all the things that are actually going on, and there is volatility, but there is some greatness and some goodness.
Yeah.
Last night was goodness in the world of sports and coming together and just positivity. But, keep that moving forward as opposed to adding, because people will go away.
That's the thing too. The way society is right now, and I'm hand up, I'm guilty. I mean, I'm 26 years old. I'm talking about people that are my age.
Yes.
Okay. You move on from things very quickly.
Very quickly.
You move on from very quickly.
You guys
very
are
much,
wicked.
very much
You
into
guys are
the something's in today and tomorrow it's out.
Nah, I'm done. That's it. I don't like him anymore.
Yeah, I think right now there is a general nobody's touching football. Let's just leave that out of it. That's its own thing.
So true.
But after football, I think basketball has always been that number two. The general feeling on basketball right now is there's a little bit of a changing of the guard,
right?
At the top of the sport.
100%.
The next generation coming up, I don't think has the worldwide attention yet that the previous generation of basketball did. The LeBrons, the Kobe's, all those guys.
Yeah.
Baseball
They're
has
not even in the right geographical places.
No. And now baseball
when you think
with
of,
this,
SGA's in Oklahoma,
he's Oklahoma City,
Ants in Minnesota,
Victor Wembanyama's in San Antonio.
He's larger than life, no pun intended, but still, you're making a great point. So the future, those guys that are 25 and under, like these aforementioned guys that I was talking about in baseball, they're all in the right places.
Yeah, and I think Ohtani again, the LeBrons, the Kevin Durant, take those guys out of it. I think Ohtani's larger than life than any other player in the NBA.
He transcends it.
He transcends it, and I think that's very important. And whatever you feel about it, he plays in the correct market, too, to get the best out of it. So I think baseball, you look at viewership, you look at interest, the way the game's being played, I think it's become the number two sport. I don't think I'm speaking out of turn and thinking that.
No, I think it's made you're right. In the last 18, 24 months, because of Yankees, Dodgers, and because of Toronto Dodgers, now the WBC, these are real valid points of interest that seeps into the under 30 bracket, under 30 demographic.
Mm-hmm.
And that's such an important demographic to keep excited about. And I remember, I'll go back to 94 when we had the full-on strike by the players. What we're talking about now is conceivably would be a lockout by the owners, right? But a strike by the players, very embarrassed to be a part of that, and no World Series for the first time in the history of baseball. The only time. No World Series. It was embarrassing. You know what? It plummeted. And you know what brought it back out, thankfully, was one guy, really, Cal Ripken Jr. and his quest for the Lou Gehrig's title. Kind of got everybody excited, and people started baseball, you did a good marketing job of counting down the days, 30 days before, and that got it kind of rolling again. And by 96, things picked back up after that ugly experience in 94. I don't know how well it'll survive. It would survive, but it just depends how dramatic, how the ugliness is.
Yeah, I would agree with that. All right, we reached the end,
bro. Great job. What was the biggest? I'm curious about earlier in the show. Was it mostly the football stuff with our boy Miguel Evans, or what were you kind of?
We were kind of jumping around. Like we started out with USF basketball making the NCAA tournament. They won their conference championship yesterday.
Yeah.
So first time in the tournament, 2012. So that's a major deal. First year head coach Brian Hodgson did a tremendous job. So we dove into that. Me and JP talked about WBC and hit on a lot of the same things we did here. The Lightning just absolutely just struggling right now to get out of their own way. And all of a sudden find themselves –
the Olympics crushed them.
All of a sudden find themselves only 4 points clear in the playoffs right now, which is amazing that it got to that point. But they're now going on a big-time West Coast trip starting tomorrow night in Vancouver, I want to say. So
good team.
Maybe that'll help. But Big O, thank you so much for joining me here.
You're great.
On this second half. Definitely. I love talking ball with you.
Man,
love talking ball.
We for you being 26 and me not being 26, we synergize pretty well.
Absolutely. All right, guys. Thank you guys so much for tuning in here on a Monday. We'll be back in for the full 2 hours tomorrow with Tin Ham. And I'm sure there's another Big O show to come this week as well. So stay tuned or look out for that as well. So see you guys tomorrow. So I will see you guys next Monday. Have a great day in beautiful Tampa Bay.